can LSU expose FSU? Okay, and this was pretty tough for me to pinpoint one individual thing because I kind of struggled to find things that FSU could be exposed with because this is a really solid football team. So many starters back on offense and defense. But I watched the film from last year's game. What's the best way to kind of learn about what a team could do against a team? Watch the last game they played. And luckily it was last year. And these teams are both pretty similar with the guys they bring back and the schemes they run and the coaches that are back and whatnot. So I've got two big ways that LSU can attack this Florida State defense and potentially expose this Florida State defense. The first, defense and the offense. The first is pressure. You've got to get pressure on Jordan Travis if you're LSU. B.J. Ojulari did that a lot last year. His pursuit ability was next to none. Maybe the initial blitz doesn't get there, but Ojulari's fighting, clawing, finding a way to get to Travis, who's scrambling around looking for someone to pass to or some place to run. You've got to force Travis out of the pocket. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't have somebody to take care of Travis, because that's just step one, getting him out of the pocket. Step two is actually getting to him. And that's where you need a guy like Harold Perkins, with the speed he has, the linebacker position, to be right there and ready to pounce on that opportunity to force Travis into a bad throw, a throwaway, or just sack him altogether. Those two things together must be done. You can't have one or the other. There were so many downs in that game last year where LSU didn't have a spy. I'm like, what are we doing here? It's a dual-threat quarterback. 3rd and 10, he's just going to take off and get 11 with his legs. Or he's going to roll out and find a receiver open for 12 yards on a crossing route. And maybe it wasn't initially open, but as I just alluded to, it will be open because Travis extends plays. So you need to have your front four get pressure. Not having Mason Smith hurts. Apparently he was going to be questionable anyway. I think this LSU team can get that pressure. Ovie Ogufu off the edge. Mekhi Wingo on the inside. Deshaun Womack at the jack position. Savion Jones at the jack position. Swinson, the Oregon transfer, at that jack position. Omar Spates, Harold Perkins too, of course. And, Major Burns is pretty good blitzing from the safety spot. Maybe the corners can get involved as well. Chestnut's got some experience blitzing from the corner spot. So this team can get pressure on Florida State. It's a great offensive line, but it's a numbers game. You send 7 for 5, you're going to get pressure. That's what they need to do. It is difficult because you watch film on Jordan Travis, the guy makes quick decisions. I'm talking like this. Snap, boom, snap, boom. Like he gets the ball out in 1 or 2 seconds. He makes one read off a linebacker, and he'll just slot it right into his receiver. So, that's just tough to defend. But he's also not a guy where if Travis doesn't have his first read, he's not going to sit there and go 2, 3, 4. No, he's going to go 1, maybe 2, and then he's going to look to scramble. That's the kind of quarterback he is. That's why when you look up draft boards for quarterbacks, Jordan Travis is nowhere in the top 10, maybe not even the top 15. Great college quarterback, great athlete, but he's essentially Johnny Manziel, but a little bit better, and obviously he's got a little bit better mental makeup as well, obviously. So he's not a guy, the point here is, that will beat you with his arm. He made some good throws in last year's game. He threw up some balls, and Pokey Wilson made some plays, so a one-hand catch and nice one-on-one catch. But he's not a guy that's going to sit in the pocket, go through his progressions, and just destroy you with his arm. He'll make a read or two, and if those aren't there, he's looking to run. And if you can contain Jordan Travis and his legs and maybe use that against him, you're looking good if you're LSU's defense. So those linebackers have to play well. The D-ends, the D-line, they've got to get some pressure. And I'm not sure that FSU sees many defensive lines like the one LSU has, maybe not even the front 7. Easily not the caliber of linebackers that LSU has. Omar Spates, Harold Perkins, the list goes on and on. ACC doesn't have those kind of defenses. Maybe Clemson, but that's probably it. All right, flip it over to the offensive side. How can LSU attack this FSU defense? Slow in the first half last year was 7-3 at halftime. Okay. But 3 touchdowns in the second half, and you lose by 1 point. They came storming back. How did they do it? A couple different ways. They used their athletes to their advantage. Malik Neighbors, put him in motion. Kayshawn Booty, they put him in motion. Drive routes, drag routes, crossing routes. Because these linebackers for Florida State were so concerned and hyper-focused on Jaden Daniels' legs, they would literally just give them this assignment. Stand here, Watch Daniels. Don't worry about anything behind you. And what LSU did was run receivers right behind those linebackers who are like this. They don't know what's going on. They're just looking at the quarterback. So that's what they've got to do this year. Get Malik Neighbors open. Use his speed. Aaron Anderson, perhaps. That's the name that's popped up a lot. He's going to be the punt returner. Put him out there in the slot, too. I mean, you get him the ball in open space. He's got a couple yards to work with. Good situation. And then Mason Taylor. Guy's an All-American tight end for a reason. One-on-one against a linebacker, that's a mismatch. Expose that. Have him on plays, block at the beginning, act like he's blocking, and then boom, he's pushing him out of the way. He's out on a route. He's wide open. Tight end delay routes all day long. One-on-one with linebackers. Can't cover. He's a great athlete. So use Mason Taylor as much as you can. I don't think these Florida State linebackers can cover that well. They're great against the run, not so much against the pass. And their nickel corners as well were kind of weak last year. I mean, Dre Jenkins had the game, well, should have been the game-tying touchdown, exposed the nickel corner. I mean, you didn't hear much from Booty or Neighbors, really, because they got the top two corners on FSU's defense last year. But guys like Kyron Lacey, Jenkins, Brian Thomas, they were afforded the luxury to make plays against cornerbacks 3, 4, and 5 and the nickel guys. So attack the nickels, too. I think that'd be a good way to go. And then, of course, you got Daniels with his legs. So if Taylor's making plays, he's going to get more attention. Neighbors will get a lot of attention, and the safeties will start to hyper-focus on those guys. Forget about Daniels, and boom, 30-yard run for a touchdown. So attack the middle and use your playmakers to the best of their abilities. That's how you'll beat this Florida State defense. So those are two ways that I think LSU can attack Florida State and successfully. Get pressure on that offense and Jordan Travis, force him to make some bad decisions, and then attack that defense over the middle and with your speed and quickness.